All right, you're watching the sports roundup show with Mike Nelson and Cody Parks. We're talking about the best in sports. This has been a huge week in the world of sports. Everybody's playing right now. Practice, obviously because of the pandemic, everybody's kind of started up, and we have a lot to talk about. But this video is going to be about the NBA, and we're going to start off, of course, with the biggest NBA story this week, which is the Clippers once again blew a 3-1 lead. Doc Rivers is the third time he's blown a 3-1 lead. He's the first coach to blow a 3-1 lead multiple times, once with Orlando, two times with the Clippers, and just the huge collapse by the Clippers against the Denver Nuggets.
Man, I think he's jinxed, Mike, because there's no way. Well, I think the Clipper one was 2015, and then the Orlando one was, I think I was saying it was 03, if I'm correct, 03. So for it to be a third, I think.
No, the Orlando one was 3-1.
No, but it was in 2003.
Oh, it's 2003. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because nobody's blown a 3-0 lead in the NBA.
Hey, you never know. It might be Doc Rivers. the way everything's going. But if he gets another shot, Mike, and we'll probably speak on that in a little bit. But just talk about the Clippers. Like I said, I think they're jinxed, Mike. There's no way they have never made it to the conference finals in their franchise history, and 50 years for 2015 this year, both times up 3-1. Doc Rivers. I'll put a lot of blame on Doc, but also you got to put some blame on Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Everybody, kept saying Kawhi Leonard is this top player in the league, this and that. For you to go, I know he had a horrible shooting night. If it was 6 for 22, 6 for 24, if I'm correct. Paul George went 3 for like 14 from 3. So the players got to show up too, and all these aspiration title shot hopes and Clippers fell again. I know you've been seeing these memes. We was talking about it earlier a little bit. It's funny to see the Clippers lose. I'm not gonna lie, Mike. I love it.
No, but see, the thing is, I'm thinking I mentioned it to you earlier. Game 5. I mean, the Clippers were up. What is it, 15 with like 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. I think that's where the whole series shifted, because Kawhi Leonard had 36 points in that game. He played the best game he had the entire series. Fourth quarter, he was draining a lot of threes. He was pretty much taking over the game, but the Clippers defensively just, I don't know what happened, man. That game 5, that's where I look at. And I think after that, all the momentum was on Denver's side, and the Clippers kind of just stopped believing they were going to win the series. And then game 6, they kind of had a lead in the first half, but second half, it was a blowout. And then game 7, I mean, I think some people thought the Clippers were still going to win, but I kind of thought Denver could pull it off. But I know you were surprised with game 7.
Yeah, I was shocked. But to your point for game 5, it was Paul Millsap. I don't know if you remember seeing.
Third quarter, he had a big.
Yeah, he went off. Also, it was they got to an altercation. Him and Morris, one of the Morris brothers.
Marcus Morris, yeah.
Marcus Morris, always I forget which one the Lakers got, which one the Clippers got. But and they got into it. After that, Millsap went on a crazy streak to get him back into the game. So that was showing his veteranism. He's one of the older players on the team. And that's what kind of got the ball rolling, because if it wasn't for Millsap, they could have lost that game right there. Definitely. And then 6, Jokic, Jamal Murray showed out. Then 7, to get to your point of me asking, it's just the Clippers didn't show up at all. It was they had a lead for a little bit, but the Clippers didn't show up at all.
Yeah, and then Kawhi Leonard had 2 points in the second half, and then Paul George, I think, had like 2 or 3 points also. Or I don't know if he even scored. I don't remember ever seeing him score in the second half. And that's just it's unacceptable, right? You can't win in the playoffs that way. And Jamal Murray had 40 points in that game.
That's 2 of your best players. Yeah. That's the reason why.
That's pretty much the reason why. But I don't know. I think Doc Rivers has some blame in this. I mean, I think they need a coaching change. That's my opinion. I think they should have maybe got rid of him 5 years ago after blowing it against Houston. And I think there's just something wrong with the Clippers environment, because it seems like they changed the whole team up, and it doesn't seem to help,
And I'm with you with that word environment. I was watching some of Mark Malone, the head coach of the Denver Nuggets,
Mike.
talking about Mike, excuse me,
Yeah.
head coach of the Denver Nuggets. He was talking about culture and how he had to build his team over the last 5 years, this and that. And then Doc Rivers, the way his environment and culture is, he likes like a physical team, this and that. But I don't think he does too much X's and O's as far as on the offensive and defensive end. Some of his teams have been great over time. I will give credit, but on the offensive end, in this day and age of the way the league is going, you need offense. And I'm not for sure if Doc Rivers is that coach for this offense, for the offense that the Clippers will need to advance further down the road. So I'm with you. He should take a lot of the blame because that offense was horrible.
So you think this year the offense is what ended up messing them up, not the defense?
In my opinion, up to the Nuggets series, yes, but even with the Nuggets series though, they didn't play no defense either. They thank you for pointing me out. Mike likes to get on me for making mistakes.
No.
That's a good point because if you're Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, you're known for your defense.
Yeah.
And they didn't stop nobody. They didn't want. Sometimes they would switch every play whenever they would do a screen or roll with Jamal Murray instead of just standing and trying to stay attached to him and try to lock him down. So they're known for the defense, but some players didn't show up in this series. Definitely.
Yeah, I think this year it was a defense. I mean, I'm talking about this series. I think the defense, the Clippers never played good defense well enough, consistently, and that's why they lost the series. I think
that's
offensively,
that's what they're known for.
Yeah, they were supposed to be known for that, but in the end, I mean, Patrick Beverly, Paul George, Kawhi, they're supposed to be exceptional defenders, but in the end, it didn't happen. That's why they lost. And also, I just think Paul George, I don't know if he's never been healthy this season or he's not happy on the Clippers. He never was that good for the team, and that's another main reason why they weren't able to get far. And now the question is going to be, what do they do in the offseason? Just a lot of question marks. I mean, how do you move Paul George, even if they wanted to, with that salary and that contract?
And then you were saying that we were texting each other after the game. Do you think Paul George should go after one season? Because it's funny that when you were texting that and we was talking about some of the memes before the show right here. Some of the memes were saying that Kawhi Leonard made the wrong decision when getting Paul George. You know, they should have got.
I think they did. I think they should have got somebody else. Like maybe I don't know, maybe Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard. I would have liked to see that.
Remember, I'm telling you, if Chris Paul comes back to the Clippers,
I don't know, man. It could happen. It could happen because I mean Oklahoma, they just got rid of Billy Donovan. They look like Gallinari's gonna be gone too. They're gonna rebuild. I don't know if Chris Paul really wants to stick around. I mean, he wants to win a championship, I think.
It's rumors about the Bucks.
Oh, yeah, Giannis to the Clippers. But is Giannis really going to help? Think about it.
No. Chris Paul to the Bucks.
Chris Paul to the Bucks, yeah. That could work. Because I also saw some rumors during the playoff series that the Clippers are interested in acquiring Giannis, too. I saw some rumors on that, but I don't know if that's really going to help. I don't know, man. Like Giannis and Kawhi, it just doesn't seem to work for me.
It'll be you only got one basketball, so yeah.
Yeah, it's like it just doesn't. They both want the ball, and I don't know. I think the Clippers are in a big problem now. And
Montrezl Harrell is a free agent, Mike.
They have to let him go. I think they have to let him go, in my opinion. And I think Lou Williams has to go too, and Patrick Beverly. I think they have to rebuild, man. I think they got to just keep Kawhi. Yeah, just blow up the team, man. Don't you think?
Mike said blow it up.
Yeah, I think they did. They blew a 3-1 lead, man. I don't know. What do you think?
I kind of maybe can get where you're coming from because of course the new stadium in Inglewood is getting built. They definitely want to have a team ready for once that starts because right now Kawhi is 29, 30 years old, something like that. By the time he gets to when the building is there, he's gonna be older. So maybe you start rebuilding right now. So you have seats to fill when that building is built. And then you're gonna have if you get a new coach, do you want to rebuild with a new coach, or you just want to keep the same team? So yeah, I get your points.
I think like Kawhi Leonard though. I mean, he technically can leave after next season. So I mean, if things keep going the way they are, I don't think he'll stay after next season.
with that player opt out. So.
Yeah, I think he'll opt out. He has a 3-year deal, of course, but I think he's going to opt out if they don't make it to the conference final next season. And now let's talk about the Lakers, who of course made it to the conference final, first time in 10 years, 2010, since they that year, of course, they defeated the Celtics in the finals, but they of course made the conference final. Could you imagine this is the longest drought for the Lakers in franchise history, if I'm not mistaken, of not going to the conference final?
Mike, let me tell you this stat. I don't know if you saw this. I just saw this last night. Um, this blew my mind when I saw it. This is the first time, in a long time, like you said, 10 years since the Lakers have made the conference finals. The last time the Lakers made the conference finals was, the 09-010, and they played the Nuggets in the conference finals. They, of course, beat the Nuggets, beat the Celtics, and then got the championship. And then also this year, they're playing the Nuggets in the conference finals. And then that year, Kobe was going for his 4th ring. This year, LeBron is going for his 4th ring. That year, they won the finals in Orlando because they was playing the Orlando Magic. Excuse me, I'm going to say before that Celtics 09-08.
Yeah.
It was 08. So they was playing Orlando. This year, they're in the bubble in Orlando. I thought that was
weird,
pretty
man.
crazy.
Yeah.
How it's been this long. And then if you think about it, this long drought, before they beat the Magic for the finals, before that first championship of the back-to-back, it was a long drought before then too. If you
It was like
remember,
7
before
years,
they
yeah.
won the championship. So that's a crazy stat.
This has been about 10 years. And they're playing the Nuggets, and I'm going to say the Lakers are heavy favorites to win the series. Of course, game 1 is tonight, but I think the Nuggets just played a 7-game series. They're going to be tired. The Lakers had almost a week off. So I'm going to say Lakers in 4 or 5. What do you think?
So luckily this time they have 2 days off. The Nuggets last time they only had 1 game.
Yeah.
They had 2 days. And I just want to go with you, Mike, because I don't know if you recall, you called the Rocket series. You said 5 games, and the Lakers won 5.
And I also called that we weren't going to see Lakers and Clippers. Everybody was saying that we're going to see it, and it didn't happen. So I did call that when we started.
You did say that. You did say that. I don't know if it's because you thought they wasn't going to make the conference finals, but
I just thought one of them wasn't going to make it. I did say one of them was going to make it, but I didn't know which one. But yeah,
Guru Mike. Guru. So I'm gonna just follow Mike's lead. I'm gonna go 5 games. I'll probably give, and then LeBron said this, and it happened the last 2 series, which is kind of crazy. But LeBron said this before a playoff series started. No, actually, he said that after game 1 of the Portland series. The first game, it always takes him time to get used to the team. So that's why he may lose always the first game of the series. He lost game 1 to Portland, lost game 1 to Houston. So they may lose today. Let's hope not. But I'm with you also. I think 5, the most 6. If Lakers lose this, it'll be pretty bad on LeBron's legs.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just like how it was on Kawhi's legacy, losing to Denver. If the Lakers lose this series, which I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that would be even more of a shock than the Denver beating the Clippers, don't you think? I mean, the way the Lakers are playing.
So you think so?
Yeah, the way the Lakers are playing, I think the Lakers are playing the best they've been playing. This is the best they've really figured it out. I think in the playoffs. I think they've found some consistency. They're winning games by a lot of points. They're playing at a higher level than say the Clippers were playing going into that second round. So if they were to somehow lose this series in 6 or 7 games, I think everybody would be more shocked. And then when was the last? Denver hasn't been in the NBA Finals in what is it? Almost. I can't. I have to look it up, but it's been a long time.
They won it in the 70s. I remember that. They won it in the 70s, but the finals, probably the 80s or 90s, if it wasn't the last time they won in the 70s.
I think they played the Chicago Bulls one year in the finals, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. But I'm looking that up right now.
Maybe with the Alex English days, Kiki Vanderway, if you remember those days. But yeah, I would want to. I don't know how the which legacy will be worse, Clippers, because I would want to ask you, do you think it matter how the series goes? Like, let's say if they keep going back and forth up until Game 7, or what do you think? Like, do you think it matters how the series goes? And
for
the way
LeBron's
they
legacy.
lose? Yeah.
Oh no, I think if, even if it goes 7 games, but if the Lakers win the series, I don't think it hurts LeBron's legacy. I think it just hurts if they lose the series because I think Denver's shown that they're a worthy opponent. They're the first team in NBA history to come back 3-1 twice in the same year. So that obviously is a huge accomplishment. So I think if they take the Lakers to 7 games, I don't think people should give it a knock on LeBron. And then also, we don't know. I mean, the Lakers have played. They've been off for 6 days. They might be a little rusty today and Sunday. We don't know.
True.
And LeBron, I don't
That's
think
true.
Denver will be rusty. I think they're ready to go. And, they'll be tired, but I think they're ready to go tonight.
Like energized, like they're ready.
Yeah, they're ready. They've come off a huge win against the Lakers. I mean the Clippers last round. So that's why I think they'll be ready to go.
And then I want to ask you another question. Who do you think is going to be the X factor for the series? I'll give mine first. Playoff Rondo, Rajon Rondo. I think that's a thing. I don't know if everyone hears that going around. Playoff Rondo, because he shows up in the playoffs. I think that was a big key for winning the Houston Rockets series. You need a great intellect when you're in a playoff series. It's different when they're from a regular season because players are on back to back, this and that. But in a playoff series, you got to watch film, study, and you need that IQ, that basketball IQ, as they say. And Rajon Rondo, almost call him playoff Rondo again. I'm gonna stick with that. You need that, and I think that's gonna be one of my big X factors for this series is Rajon Rondo. What about
Rondo, you? I'm gonna go with LeBron James. I don't think the Denver Nuggets are gonna be able to stop LeBron. Davis, I mean, they got Jokic to guard Davis, so that's gonna be a nice matchup.
That's a matchup, Mike. I want to see.
But LeBron, I don't know, man. I just don't think they got anybody on that roster.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and also wanted to mention the Denver Nuggets have never been to the NBA Finals, so they went to the ABA Finals. So this would be history, NBA history, if they were to somehow win. They've never been to the NBA Finals.
What year, Mike? Give us the details. ABA.
ABA was 76, 1976. Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, I remember. Yeah. So I was at the 70s.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, I don't know, man. You really think they're going to make NBA history? I mean, it's in the bubble.
No 3-point shots. So it's in the 70s.
Yeah.
This year, we have no arenas to play in. You never know.
Did they have a shot clock yet in the 70s?
Yeah.
I think
they had a shot clock. It's probably manual, but
yeah,
they had a shot.
All right, and then just to wrap up the show, we never talk about the Eastern Conference too much, but Miami is up 2-0 on the series. I think Miami's they're looking almost like a championship team. What do you think? I mean, they're playing like they can really cause some problems to the Lakers if they make the finals.
Mike, I've been watching some of these games. I'm in shock. I really do think this no crowd is helping these role players for Miami, the Tyler Heroes, the Duncan Robinsons, the Bam Adebayos, Goran Dragic has showed up. Jimmy Butler has been playing well. And yeah, it looks like they're going to be in the finals. And this bubble has definitely helped them because I don't think they would have made it that far if it wasn't for no fans. But everybody gets to play free now. And yeah, I think the Heat is going to get this done and definitely make it to the NBA Finals.
All right, so I want to thank everybody for watching this NBA segment. We're going to be posting other segments on the YouTube channel and Facebook channel on other sports, and also head over to Instagram. We also do an Instagram live there every Friday. So thanks for watching, everybody.